CHW, when you first walk in the door, you're gonna first walk into the room, and directly in front of you will be the CHW information board. On this board, you're gonna have your step-by-step event process that you can refer to if you have any questions. You have your CHW ice chest information. You also have your nursing employee contact information, including Kaylee, Danielle, and Elma. Directly to your right, you will have the event board. On this event board, you will have the date and the event name along with the time, what is supplied, and the CHW and the nurse's name. You're also going to have the box number information of all the boxes that you're going to need for that event, along with the E-kit and AED number. Directly to the left of the CHW information board, you will have the CHW freezer along with the CHW table pickup location. When you first walk into the room, the very first thing you want to do is pack your cold cube. The reason for this is because it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for this cold cube to cool down to the desired temperature you need for your vaccines. And you need that temperature set before you put your vaccines in here. The temperature for that would be between 36 Fahrenheit and 46 Fahrenheit. When you first walk in, your reader will read between 60 and 70 Fahrenheit, and your levels will be put in, your lowest 36 and your highest 46. For this video, we have already cooled down this cold cube so we can show you what the temperature that we're aiming for and what the low and the high is. So to start with, in order to cool down this cold cube, you will need, again, we packed this prior to the video in order to cool it down. But for your cold cube, you will need two freezer panels and 4 refrigerated panels. Your 2 freezer panels will be in the ice pack freezer, and they will have a gray tip, and they will also say lab freezer on there. You will need 2 of these. There are my 2. And you will walk over to refrigerator number 1 in order to get your refrigerated panels. Refrigerator number 1, and it will say CHW vaccine pickup and drop off refrigerator. The panels will be behind the basket with the vaccines, and you will need 4 of these. They will be blue tip, and they do have refrigerator on the panel. You'll collect 4 of them and take them over to your cold cube. Once at your cold cube, you want to put a refrigerated panel at the bottom. You will line up your cold cube with the rest of the refrigerated ones. And your freezer ones, you will put one up against the wall. The second one will be placed at the top of the cold cube. You want to make sure you have a barrier between the panel and your vaccine and your temperature reader. You'll place that in there to keep a reading on your temperature. You're able to close it up. That way it can cool down to the temperature that you want between 46 and 36 while you pack the rest of your supplies. If you need a barrier for your cold cube, it'll be on the CHW pickup location table or on top of the freezer. There's water bottles as well here. There will be other water bottles located on top of the freezer or also between the filing cabinet and the small fridge. We will have waters there as well, if not, again, on top of the freezer. Now, while you wait for your cold cube to cool down, you can pack your supplies. Also, just another helpful hint, if you need your cold cube to cool down faster, you could also add these freezer packs in your cold cube just to cool down the cube faster. Then you can take it out after you put your vaccines in. Now, while you wait for your cold cube to cool down, you can collect your supplies. Your supplies will always be at the table pickup location. You want to get your cart, and the cart will be located by the black rack. You want to get your cart, and you can also refer back to the event board to check on your date, which is today, 1/31, and your event. In this case, it's El Concilio. Now you come over to the table and check the boxes. You want to check off the list to make sure it's the same date and event name. If that matches, that's your box. You also want to pay attention to any notes that's on the box. If there's any directions that need to be followed up on, they will be on the box. In this case, it says it's going to be used for multiple events and to place this box back on the CHW pickup location. Therefore, after your event, when it is returned, that is where it needs to be placed. The rest of your boxes will be on the table. Again, check all forms to make sure the name and date correspond to your event for the day. If it does, make sure to take that box. The box will also include a consent box, your AED. The number should again match what's on the board for that date. An e-kit, a trash bin, along with a sharps container. In this case, I have one trash can and one sharps container. Depending on the event and number of nurses, there might be multiple trash bins and sharp containers. Everything that's at this location needs to be taken. Once you collect your supplies and take it out to your vehicle, when you return, hopefully the cold cube is at the desired temperature. You want to collect your vaccines. You want to walk over to refrigerator number 1. Your vaccines will be at the CHW vaccine pickup. It is the top rack. You want to make sure you check your date, 1/31, and the event name and the time. If it matches the event that you will be taking your supplies to, you want to get your vaccines and walk it over to your cold cube. Once at your cold cube, you want to make sure you have your barrier. You add your vaccine, your temperature reader, and you want to add a water bottle. That way, if your temperature does happen to drop, your vaccine will not freeze. You want to close that up, zip it up. Once that's done, you want to make sure your temperature, which reads here, is between 36 and 46. If it drops under 46, you want to remove a panel. If it goes under 36, you want to remove a panel. And if it goes over 46, you want to add a cold pack to it. Always take a cold pack with you to every event. In case your temperature goes over 46, you have something to add to it to bring down the temperature. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to Alma, Kaylee, or Danielle. We will be able to walk you through any temperature change if it's out of range.
How do we turn it on?
Once you have your vaccine packed, you want to set the alarm on. It'll be the second button. You just bring it up to on. The alarm will go off if it goes over 46 degrees, and it'll also go off if it goes under 36 degrees. If that's the case, you need to, if you're driving, you need to pull over to a safe area and either call Alma, Kaylee, or Danielle, or if it's too warm, you want to add your cold packs. If it's too cold, you want to remove either the cold packs or cold panels, whatever you have in your cold cube. We also will be introducing an event temperature tracking log where you will be putting the time when you pick up and leave with your cold cube. You would put your time, the temperature that is on here, and your initial. As a CHW, you will be responsible for this. Once you are at the event, it will be the CHW and the nurse's responsibility to keep an eye on the temperature for the vaccines. Once you return from the event, you want to make sure you first bring in your vaccines. When you bring in your vaccines, you want to make sure you turn off your alarm. Once you turn off your alarm, you want to make sure you empty your cold cube out completely. That means the gray tip panels will be returned back into the CHW freezer. The blue tip panels, which are the refrigerator ones, along with your whatever's left of your vaccines, will be returned back to refrigerator number 1. In refrigerator number 1, you will put your panels behind the CHW vaccine pickup basket. Your vaccines will be returned to the CHW vaccine drop-off basket. Once that is done, you will return all your supplies from the event back to the black rack. This is the drop-off location. But if your event checkoff list has instruction to return back to the CHW pickup location, that is where you will be returning it, back to the CHW table pickup location. There might be an event later that weekend, later that day, that these boxes might be needed. You will return the box to the CHW table pickup location along with all the supplies that you took. The AED, the E-kit, The consent box, trash, and sharps containers are all to be returned to the pickup location.
Does the CHW need to sign in anywhere?
Yes. We have a clipboard attached to the black rack. This needs to be filled out when you sign out the supplies and boxes. You will put your name, event box numbers, whether it's 2 or 3 boxes, you need to put down each box number, the date and time that you signed everything out, and when you return, you put the date and time that you signed back in. So this clipboard needs to be signed when checking out and checking back in. Great question, thank you.